Well, we're live. I know I'm like many months late to this occasion. I know, but here's the cool part. I was doing the hiatus when I hit 2,000 subscribers on the channel. So, you know what? The cool part is that I can just simply do a 2,000 live now. And this live will hopefully go until around 9:30 at the latest. What's going on? Phoebe's Urban Homestead and Lifestyle and Outdoors Game. What's going on, everyone? Hope y'all are enjoying your weekend so far. I know I am definitely enjoying the weekend as it is because this is the only time allowed to actually get a solid amount of sleep. Because the weekdays I have school at 5:30 a.m. That's when I wake up. School starts at like 7, so I have a lot on my schedule during the week. Fortunately, Monday appears to be a half day. So yeah, and hopefully we get some snow because there's talking about some snow now. Talking about maybe some snow accumulations of 1 to 3 inches sometime in early November. That's miles away ahead, but those forecast models are intriguing me. So I'm hoping for some snow so that way I can have a little bit of a 2-hour delay. So now I can wake up at the time I used to wake up when I was like in elementary school, like 7:30. Now I have high school and I have to wake up at like 5:30, and you know how annoying that sort of stuff is. So yeah, it's quite the nuisance. Yeah, it's a little too early for snow. I mean, over in our side of the woods, we have some snow that typically starts falling in early November. It's like a flurry or two. You don't typically get like actually like good accumulating snow until closer to the end of November. And then going into early December is when we start getting those bigger snowstorms, like 4 to 8 inches. That's when all the big channels like Channel 7 News we have over here, we have NBC Connecticut, all those things are going to start covering the winter storms. Now they're going to start giving bigger forecasts instead of like a coding to 1. Now we're talking maybe 6 to 12, and by the time we get to January, that's when we get our first big storms. So, I mean, snow is cool and all, but I would like to hold off a little bit. I'd rather have something more like I'd rather have something a little bit more like some, I don't know, like a frost or a freeze or something like that. Or even just a little bit of wind to delay the school for the morning. What's going on, Mr. Pumpkin 97? Right before I hopped onto the live, just so happened that our power ended up going out. And yeah, the power went out for like 5 minutes. It's back. It took a little while for the internet to reconnect, but of course we are back. It is a little windy out there. I think the winds are probably closing in on 20. I'm going to have to check. They're pretty high, and they weren't even supposed to be that high. Tomorrow was supposed to be worse than today. Those winds are only supposed to be like 10 to 20 miles an hour, so we're looking at some pretty intense wind gusts as the night goes on. So yeah, if anyone wants to hop up onto the panel, I'll leave the link in just a second. Just checking the weather forecast. Looking like Monday will be now 30 degrees, and then we're looking at some 70s next week, which would be great because, we'd love, there's much warmer weather no, come on, man. I clicked the wrong button. There we go. So, rain and windstorm, yeah. I don't know how strong it is over where you're at. I'm going to go check the power outage. I'm going to go check the power outage map just to make sure that there's no significant outages in the area. Well, there actually happens to be some slight outages down in the southern portion of the state, of course. The real storm is much further up away from us, and we are done with that rain today. So glad we're done with that rain. I don't want it here. It's just so annoying. Like, we're constantly getting in on this rain, which is cool and all. We got like 1.5 inches of rain today, but I need to double check that. I think it's 1.5 inches. I don't really remember. But it was enough rain that it definitely caused some issues. Like, there's some swelling and overflowing. What's going on, Big Feathers Farm? What's going on, everyone? I'm going to double check how much rain we got today, because it was definitely a lot. It's just maybe not as much. 2.07 inches of rain. That's a lot more than I expected. Probably because of that spike at 4 a.m. And then yesterday we got about 1/2 inch of rain. So we got almost 3 inches of rain the last couple days. You went apple picking in that rain today. That is something I would refrain from doing in the rain. I mean, I'd like going out in the rain and all. It's just, yeah. It's a little bit annoying when you have to like get all these layers on and stuff like that. So I'll have to dress up in layers if I want to go out in that rain, because there is no way I'm ever gonna go out and just get wet, because man, I don't want my clothes being wet and all that whatnot. So yeah, I hope everyone's day's been going too good today, because mine is okay. I don't know about you guys. How about you rate your day out of 10 so far today? I'd rate my day I'll give it maybe a solid 7 out of 10. Like, we had some rain, we had some wind, but other than that, nothing too special for the day. I mean, how about your day? I mean, yeah, we have a lot going on over here, and I'm still attempting to reach my 3,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours. My goal is to actually somehow manage to reach 4,000 hours before 3,000. That's my new goal. Actually, 4K by the end of the year sounds pretty cool. I don't know about any of you guys. If you guys would be in on that possibility of me reaching. Oh, there goes my window. There's something hidden in my window all day. You know, like the rain for me. I fish in the rain, hunt in the rain. I don't let the rain stop me. That's what I meant to read. Fish, hunt, and in the rain. Once I have my rain, yeah. I don't want my hair getting wet. That's the one thing. And you want to know what's even more uncomfortable than getting your hair wet in rain? It's getting your socks wet in rain. That is the most discomforting thing about rain. So that is why in the rain I like to go out barefoot because it eases that discomfort. I don't have to have like the discomfort of having socks wet. If it's like a sunny day, I'll just go out in shoes and socks because I don't have to risk getting my socks wet. And those are like that is the most uncomfortable feeling ever. I don't know about any of you guys, but that is so uncomfortable. You have that, and then you have to walk with that, especially if you're like in school. You're going into school, you step in a puddle accidentally. Now your socks are wet, your shoes wet, and you can't do nothing about that. I remember that one time I was about to go to school last year, and I accidentally left my shoes out in the rain overnight, and I didn't happen to have another pair of shoes, so I had to go into school that day with wet shoes, and it was not the most comfortable feeling ever. It's just no, I don't like having my socks wet in the rain, so that is why there are many ways to there's many ways to sort of oppress the rain from getting to your socks. And there are many ways I just feel I'm just a little bit too lazy to actually implement those things to keep myself from getting wet in that rain. Because you know how that rain wants to be. It wants to be as annoying as possible. The rain over here hits in the most inconvenient time. Like when I actually want it to rain, it doesn't want to rain. But then when I don't want it to rain, it decides it wants to rain. Because, it's the Northeast. And the Northeast has weather that's just like that. And unfortunately, it will always be that way. So yeah, I just figured I'd make a quick announcement really quickly about the fact that I just dropped my Ducks documentary. I don't know if you guys seen it yet. Once you're, like if you have to go to bed soon, maybe you could, leave it on for a little while. It's a half-decent video, I'd say, because, I spent I'll say a couple hours working on it. The actual total is 94 total. 72 hours went into making it a long time ago. Then I spent 22 hours trying to restore everything and improving everything because there was a lot of stuff I missed. And then I decided against expanding it because that would be a little bit too much effort. And that would take me well beyond the deadline. That would probably take me going into the week after if I included everything in my notes for that video. But don't worry, I'm already gathering notes for that third part of that duck documentary. And trust me, that third one is going to be a great one. I cannot wait to do that one. That one's coming out on the 11th, so that way I have plenty of time to get the notes. The notes for the duck documentary I just released were 16 pages long. I'm not even joking. I take 16 pages of notes for some of these videos. You watched the premiere. I saw you in the chat. You were like the only person that was commenting in the chat. I think there was 4 people at its height. And right as the stream ended, we continued at 4. I actually think there might have been 5. I don't really remember, but regardless, you were the only one that was chatting in there, so now you have the bragging rights of saying you were in that premiere. If the premiere decides it wants to be my best performing video, I mean, I don't know what it is. Recent videos on my channel have been performing really well. I don't know about any of you guys. And it all started with a video simply titled, let me find it. It all started with a video called How to Know Exactly What Your Chickens Are Saying, and somehow it just exploded. Yeah, you have to make more long videos. I mean, yeah, if you want good success in terms of, if you want monetary success, then long videos are definitely the way to go. If you want that dopamine hit, then the shorts are the way to go. Man, when you watch those analytics grow, it's almost like a dopamine hit there. But the long videos are far more successful and far more important in my opinion, because those are the ones that build the audience. Because shorts, when you click that subscribe button on the shorts, 99% of the people are never going to come back because there's no option to turn on those notifications for some reason. I don't know why. I wish they'd implement that, where you could turn on the notifications directly from the shorts. And to call their notifications bad would be an understatement. I think I've been getting only like 6 to 12 notifications daily now. It used to be I'd get every single notification back in 2021 going into 2022. Then they started decreasing it slowly, and then it just flat out just went down. I don't know why. I'm getting like no notifications. Yeah, and since you got a short with 10 million views and you have 50,000 subscribers, there's a good chance that some of those people that subscribed aren't going to come back again, mainly because there's no option for, and like no one goes to their subscriptions tab. I'm going to keep it a buck here. I don't ever use my subscriptions tab unless I'm trying to view a short from someone, because they don't send the notifications for those out because that's never part of the bundle. So that's the only reason I'll ever go into the subscriptions tab. That's it. Is to see a specific short and new community posts from fellow channels. I don't think anyone else uses this sub tab for other reasons. I mean, like, yeah, I don't know how everyone's been doing on YouTube recently. You guys can come up if you want. Not that, that's the wrong link. Way up here. Talk about your channel and talk about maybe growing it a little bit. Because I've been, to call my channel performing terribly in the last 28 days would be a little bit of an understatement. I typically manage to get about 56,000 views, and I've only got 36K, which it's still fine. It's still in the average mark, but my subscribers count has definitely took a big hit after taking that hiatus from shorts for a week, because that's the only way like you could actually do that sort of stuff. So yeah, I don't know how everyone else is doing it in terms of YouTube. So rate, like, in the last 28 days, I don't know how you rate your YouTube performance. I give it a 5 or 6 out of 10. For me personally, at least. Other people would rate theirs like a 10 out of 10 or 0 out of 10 or something like that. And then YouTube's been doing that little great purge that everyone hypes up to be the worst of the worst, where they take away the subscribers. Mainly it's the likes. For me, they've never done a massive purge in terms of subs. For me, it's the likes that get purged for some reason. Like, those poor likes, man. I'll miss them. I'll miss them, man. Like, they take away so many likes from my channel nowadays. Like, they had, like, literally, my video with 80-something views has, like, 3 likes on it, and I'm pretty sure it had more to start with. But, like, YouTube's just been killing that. I don't know if anyone else has noticed that, but it's just me, personally, that's noticing these massive decreases in things recently. So, yeah. I don't know about anyone else. Yeah, October's a 6 out of 10 month. Yeah, so far, we still have, like, a couple days left of October, to say the least. So these could be the best 10 days left of October, or it could be the worst. I will at least attempt to start posting shorts at least somewhat more often. Like, literally, as we speak right now, one of my shorts is actually doing pretty well. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to go put up an advertised video in there real quick. Just hang on just a second. Come on, man. You can do this. You can do this. There we go. Now I have a little bit of a video to put in there. I had to do that real quick. Just because. Why not? Either way, though, we're now up to 7:35 on that video in the last 60 minutes. It's only been 15 minutes. So, yeah. So, yeah, it seems like people are just in the middle in terms of performance this month. For me, personally, that's for me. Like, I'm right in the middle, going towards the lower end of the spectrum in terms of performance. A lot of my videos in the last week have just been mainly based off of, like, for some reason, it's almost, like, they decide to start recommending my videos again. Like, what they'll do is, like, you'll have a video, right? Performs really well, but the next one won't. But that video that performed terribly would get a good, like, click-through rate of, like, 7 or 8%. Then the next one would explode. Then the next one will get a terrible click-through, and then it will get a terrible click-through rate, and it would affect the next video. I don't know if they changed something like that, but, like, that's just been what's happening. The average view duration has also taken a big hit for me personally. I get, like, 53 seconds out of a 10-minute video, and I'd like to increase that a little bit. Maybe to, like, 20 or 30%. Yeah. Views will go down from here to Christmas. Yeah, but for me, last November, I got, like, 230,000 views, to be fair. November is a great month for me personally. I've always had good successions in November. December is when views will go down, but then they'll explode again, like right around December 22nd. That is, for whatever reason, when most people get out for holiday break. So then it explodes. But then the second January 1st hits. I don't know why. Everyone's views just go down the drain. Like, you're so high, but then it just gets flushed down the drain on January 1st. And they don't recline all the way until the spring. That's just what's been going on. At 200,000 views last November. I'd like to at least try. That was only because I was making cringeworthy shorts last November. I regret doing that extremely badly. Because I still would have gotten all my goals even if I didn't post that style of short. Maybe I'd be like gone like 50 subscribers nowadays. That no big deal. I could just gain them. But like, I don't know why I decided to post those. I don't know what was going through my mind that night. I decided, you know what, that's gonna be a part of the channel now. You know exactly what shorts I'm talking about. You should know. If anyone's been around for longer than I don't know, 8 or 9 months, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Posted them going into December. That's all I gotta say. So we're getting pretty close to 1 million views on the channel. That's all I gotta say for recent. That would be probably my greatest and most proudest achievement of all time. We're at 921,000 according to the stats viewer. It will be my proudest achievement to reach 1 million views. I don't think it'll happen this month, maybe next month, if I really try by the end of this month. But yeah, 1 million views would be probably my proudest achievement. And hopefully it doesn't take 5 years like it did to go from 600 to 700,000 views, and then 7 to 800,000. We've been doing a lot better in this 900,000 range. We hit 900k like last week, and we're already gotten 20k up. So I don't know how close any of you guys are to 1 million views, but I could hopefully make it one more closer to 1 million views by watching videos and all that whatnot. In November 2022, got a total of 4,000 views. 1 million views would definitely be my greatest and most proudest possession to reach, because that would be an accomplishment like none other. And then like, yeah, I'm gonna keep, and hopefully it's a long video that aids its way up there, which at the rate we're going, it's a little bit more probable. That percentage, that likelihood of that happening went from about 0.001% to about 0.008%. That's about how high the chances of me having the 1 million views mark a little bit closer, because of the fact that a long video aided me. For all I know, it could be this duck documentary I just posted like 30 minutes ago. I don't know if any of you guys have seen it yet, but for me personally, it's definitely one of my best videos, and that series is probably going to be my favorite series I've ever done here. The only series that might be able to surpass it is going to be this movie I'm dropping in and around late December. I don't know if I've told any of you guys about it yet. I talked about it a little bit in community posts, but My Chicken's Christmas, I have finished character development in all the characters. I've gathered sound effects. I have gotten everything I need done. I've got all the stock footage. I got everything I need. I got all the PNGs. Now all I have to do is... I also got done a little bit of recording on it. Now all I got to do is just do a little bit more. And so far, 82 hours have went into creating it. What's going on? Judy Jules and the Big Italian. Yeah, after that, you need a video to get 100,000 views. That gets 100,000 views, at least on shorts. Yeah, for long videos, it should be 5,000. That sounds about right. Yep. What's going on, everyone? Hope you all are doing pretty good today, because it's Saturday. It's a resting day. I am very relieved, because I don't know what it is. It's just the weekdays are like the most miserable days. And not even Mondays are that miserable for me personally. It's Tuesdays and Wednesdays and Thursdays that are the most miserable days of the week personally. Friday morning can be very miserable, but once you get past like 6 or 7 a.m. on Friday morning, that's when things get a little bit better. You actually start to wake up. But waking up in the middle of the week is like the worst part about the week, for me at least. I don't know about any of you guys, but for me, the middle part of the week is the worst part of the week. Tell me what day of the week is your least favorite. That would be Tuesday, for me at least. I don't know about you guys though, because yeah, Tuesday is just an L day in general. It's just the most irrelevant day of the week. But yeah, I don't know about any of you guys, but like, it's just really windy here. I could type here. If you type weather followed by your zip code, you can get weather for a certain location. So for me, 06068 will give me the weather for the location that I just typed in, which happens to be my hometown. So it'll take a little minute from Nightbot to wake up from his long slumber, but he will wake up eventually and will hopefully provide me with a long description of the weather for the location. Hopefully. Come on, Nightbot. You can wake up, man. Come on, buddy. Wake up. Wake up, buddy. There we go. I just opened up the tab. I think that might be what I need to do to wake him up from his long slumber, because he likes sleeping on the job when I actually want, when people like type in the chat. Oh, it might be, you know what? I think I screwed up. Yeah, I screwed up. He doesn't recognize that command. So there we go. That should be that should be it right there. And hopefully I actually get, there we go. So, the weather here is yeah, I clicked the wrong button there. I know. That right there would be the perfect moment for a mocking laugh sound effect there. So yeah, as I was saying, 55 degrees, wind is blowing 10 miles an hour, 16 kilometers an hour, and the humidity is 72%. So pretty humid out there. Not really the greatest time. So I'll start off the first question of the stream with, what is your dream chicken breed? This could be a chicken breed that doesn't exist, or it could be one that does exist. For me personally, as I said in the last stream, it's a dual-purpose breed that lays eggs every year and still lives the typical 4 to 12 years that a chicken should be able to live if it's not portions of the egg industry. So that's me personally, but be sure to type yours in the chat. What is your dream chicken breed? As I just said, that is it. Now, yeah, there's a lot of people that want different types of chicken breeds, so be sure to type yours in the chat. And yeah, I just figured I'd give this next segment of the stream, just a real quick segment, to just give a brief little update on the pumpkin carving challenge that I'm hosting. It's still going on, don't worry. I'm not doing it personally because I don't have any pumpkins that I can give to the chickens, but I'll at least try to at least participate in at least one way or another. So I don't know how many of you guys are doing that with your chickens this year, because it's a pretty exciting challenge that I'm really excited to be hosting and actually taking seriously, because I've done one other challenge before and I didn't really take it seriously, and I got 0 submissions for that one. So that was the disappointment of the century. Hopefully this one isn't, because I'd like some really great content for this video, man. I cannot wait to host it. So, yeah. I just figured I'd say that right there, right then and there, that I am hosting that challenge this year. Personally. There's probably going to be a lot of other people that are going to be doing similar challenges, but that's just the challenge I'm going to be hosting personally. So, yeah. I don't really know what I'm going to do for the next, hour or so. I'm probably going to maybe go a little bit over an hour, possibly, but for whatever reason, for whatever reason, the viewer count keeps on going up and down and up and down, and sometimes it's not even that accurate. So yeah, sometimes I'd be talking to a blank screen, sometimes I'd be talking like 5 people. That's what these streams are meant for, I don't know. So yeah, I'm hoping to make it to an hour, possibly. The only reason that I wouldn't possibly be able to make it to an hour would be because my power decides it wants to go out, which is a real possibility in this day and age, especially since it did already go out, and it likely will go out yet again. So yeah, let's just hope that the power doesn't decide, let's go out in the middle of the stream. So yeah, if the stream just if I randomly disappear and the stream just shows here, I'll show you what it looks like. If it looks like that, then my power probably went out, or I clicked the back arrow on my mouse. That's the 2 possibilities. So yeah, I just figured I'd say that. That is one more possible strand of hope of me ever reaching 4,000 watch hours on this YouTube channel. If it ever happens, I'd be genuinely amazed. I would be flabbergasted to see that. Alright, I gotta stop with this, bad vocabulary. I gotta start, using, formal words now. Either way, though, I'd be amused to see 4,000 watch hours on the channel, because it would be something. It's my dream to reach 4,000 hours and 1 million views. So that way, eventually, so that way I can fund probably my favorite type of content on this channel. It's like actually like reviewing chicken breeds and actually having that type of chicken in front of me instead of me just talking about it. Or actually, like when I'm explaining stuff, actually being able to explain it with that thing in front of me. Because funding can really be annoying sometimes. And yeah, it's just something I'd love to do in the future. And yeah, I hope everyone would be supportive of that possibility. See, I said possibility. It's possible, just not likely to happen in the near future. But yeah, I have been trying everything basically in my power to be able to reach it. I'll keep trying though. It's like sort of that thing, like you just keep on going, man. That's the one thing I'd say. Keep on going until it's already done. That's what I do. I always go keep on going at it until it's done. Because I like keeping on. I would like to keep on going with that goal until it's finally completed, until I finally get the outcome that I want. And then I'm gonna continue going, as if I would continue to do that, as if I'd still need some like support on videos. Not really. That was terrible wording. All right, rewording that. We are rewording that right now. That was awful wording. I would keep on going as if nothing happened, really. Like, yeah, I'd make like a monetization site, and I'd probably set up a few things. That would really be it for when I reach 4,000 hours. Like, you would notice barely any changes. It's not that, like a lot of people like to change around their content once they start making money. I'm not going to do anything. It's going to be all the same. It's all going to be like the same thing. For me, personally. So, yeah. Well, yeah, does look like that we did get a little bit of support on the latest short, which is really great. I'm really proud to see that my shorts are still getting at least a little bit of views. So yeah, now I'm going to change the discussion question to what is your favorite chicken breed? So what is that favorite chicken breed of yours? Now, what is that favorite chicken breed for you personally? Now, for me, that favorite breed has to go to the Buff Orpingtons. They are very friendly, docile breeds of chickens. And then there's the Barred Rocks. They're a little bit more on the competitive side, but they are really great chickens if you put in the work and the hours to be able to make friends with that chicken. The Easter Eggers are very friendly. Some of them aren't, though. It's hit or miss with the Easter Eggers. And there's a lot of possibilities with the Easter Eggers or Americanas, really. Like, you have so many open doors. Like, you don't know what you're going to get out of the... There goes the window again. You don't know what you're going to get out of your Americanas. You could get anything out of them. You don't know. You're going to get a wild card. You don't know what's actually going to come out of that Americana. It's just like, you don't know what you're going to expect unless you specifically bred that chicken yourself. You don't know what color eggs it's going to lay, what it's going to look like. Because when you hatch out the chickens, or when you get new Americanas, you don't know what color they're going to be. They all look the same when they first hatch, but then some of them are going to become white. Some of them are going to become that like black and white color that those Easter Eggers are out there. Some of them are going to become brown. Some of them are going to develop stripes. Some of them are going to be different, mainly because of the breed that they originated from. Now, there's a lot of really cool chickens that we have now. We have a lot of Easter Eggers. We have, in the farm flock, 2 white ones. One of them's Puff, and one of them is Puff's twin. And then we have a lot of Easter Eggers there. We have lost a couple Marins in the last, week. That's it. We haven't lost any Easter Eggers yet. They're all still there. Unless you count that one chicken that looked like he was a rooster, but actually wasn't a black copper Marin. He was, I think, a black sex-linked, but I don't really know. He could have been really whatever. So what was that favorite chicken breed that you've had before? As I said, Buff Orpington or even ISA Brown. You see, we probably would have gotten some ISA Browns if it wasn't for the fact that they were actually out of ISA Browns when we got those baby chickens. And I barely talked about the baby chickens, mainly because there's just not a lot to talk about yet. I've already done this thing a lot. So yeah, that is the goal, that's the goal, to get some ISA Browns in the spring. I definitely like to get some more chickens this spring. There's a lot of chickens I'd really love getting. Definitely the ISA Brown, the Definitely some more golden buffs if all goes to plan, and the golden buffs aren't like Coyote Chow. But yeah, I really like the golden buffs. I really like the Easter eggers. Those are my favorites. You can almost always find something like that in stock at your local hatchery. So yeah, as I just said, that is my personal favorite chicken breed. I don't know about any of you guys, but like, yeah, those are some of the best chicken breeds that you could possibly find out there. The golden buffs, the Easter eggers, because they're unique style. The black copper Marin, also because they're unique, and the buff Warpingtons because they're friendly. The Barred Rocks because they're like, because also they're pretty friendly. Same with a lot of other chicken breeds because they're friendly. So yeah, it's going on, Mike. So the weather for that zip code will probably pop up in just a second. If it doesn't, type in exclamation weather and you'll probably get it. So if it doesn't pop up, use exclamation mark weather for that. Here, I'll put it in. So yeah, so there'll be exclamation weather 73047. That one will work. What's going on, K Renee's Garden? Remember, I saw you in the earlier phases of the chat earlier this evening. So yeah, so the weather there, 73 degrees, and it is not that bad out there. It looks like a pretty nice evening. For me, I can't really say the same. It's a little windy. We lost the power a little bit over here. It's just been a really rough evening for me personally. But I did get up that video, and that is something that I am proud of getting up, because it is definitely one of my most proudest videos. And the fact that we're inching closer to that 4,000 hours, I really want to get back up to 1,000 hours before I start talking about 4,000. That's the thing I should be pushing right now, is 1,000 hours, and then 2,000, then 3,000. So yeah, we did go below 4,000, although I will say that they have just stopped, and then they grow a little. They've been growing a little bit. We were at 903, now we're at 926, so we're doing a little bit over here. We're growing a little bit. There's nothing hindering my ability for not uploading. It's just the possibility of the video once it's uploaded. That's what's gonna possibly like hinder the ability of growth. What's going on, everyone in the chat? As I was just saying, what is your favorite chicken breed? You don't even have to be a chicken person to know at least one chicken breed. If you saw my documentary that I made about what's it called? If you didn't see that documentary I made 2 weeks ago about the top 10 most popular breeds of chickens, you might have saw that at number 1 we had the Rhode Island Red chicken. That right there, obvious number 1 right there. That is probably the most obvious number 1. So you probably know that, even if you aren't a crazy chicken person, even if you know like literally nothing about chickens, you've definitely heard of the Rhode Island Reds and all their little. If you know a little bit more, then you probably know a little bit more about like the types of chickens that come from the Rhode Island Reds, like the ISA Browns. And ooh, I hear some thunder out there. Didn't expect that to be our evening out here. Some thunderstorms. So yeah, hopefully it's not like a crazy thunderstorm. Like, why does the wind keep hitting my glass window? Yeah, part of it broke off yesterday, and now it's just been making weird sounds. I need to check and see if it's actually intact, which it is. It just looks like it's been shifting around in the window. That's what's going on out there. So yeah. Wow, I clicked the mute button yet again. Didn't even realize that. I was literally just like talking until I realized I accidentally clicked that mute button, which has just been an issue, a recurring issue, because I always like just rest my mouse down there, and the mouse like moves a little bit because of the slope of the desk. So it'll just go right onto the mute button, and that's what's going to happen. It'll probably happen again sometime later in the stream, unfortunately. It won't ever stop. And yeah. The Buff Orpingtons, as I said, that's basically because I convinced people that the Buff Orpingtons are the best chicken breed. And I bet there's probably at least one more friendlier chicken breed, but the Buff Orpingtons are just about everyone's personal favorites. Same with like the Lavender Orpingtons and all that whatnot. You might have saw that video I did reviewing top 5 chicken breeds. A little bit more. Done 28 of them, I believe, so far. I'm going to have to check. And so far, 28 chickens I've reviewed. That is more than I ever expected. I expected that series to be like 2 videos and I just forget that it ever existed, but nope. It's still been going, and it'll continue to go until we reviewed as many chicken breeds as possible. My goal is to review, not all 1,600 obviously, but at least 100 is my goal. I want to review at least 100 chicken breeds before all is said and done. Yeah, the keyboard keys aren't working. Yeah. I know there's a lot of keyboards that just decide they don't want to work, unfortunately. That's a common issue amongst us people that have to deal with typing on keyboards. My keyboard works. My old keyboard worked really well. This one also works pretty well, but I've used some keyboards that don't work really well. What's going on, Matthew Milk Gaming? What's going on, everyone? Hope everyone's doing good tonight. We've been talking a little bit about chickens, the weather, all that whatnot. I don't know about you, but we've been getting a lot of rain here in the last hour or so. Not really rain, just wind. When I saw that short I just dropped, it's just simply titled "Wow." You know, that's like the title that does pretty good for whatever reason. So yeah, oh, more wind hitting the house, vibrating and all that whatnot. Every single house I've ever been in vibrates in the wind. I don't know why, but yeah, yeah. The rain has just been going down. The rain's just been heavily pounding the house for the last couple of hours. We got about 2 inches of rain today. Yeah, about 2 inches today. Yeah, the Brahma, Silky, the Rhode Island Red, and the Orpingtons. There's a lot of Orpingtons. Personal favorite, Buff Orpingtons, of course, because those are the only ones I've really had experience with. But then there's the Lavender Orpingtons. I officially declared all the Orpingtons I've done a review. That exist reviewed in my most recent chicken reviewing video. But yeah, the Rhode Island Red are definitely the more popular pick. They're a little bit something you do. There's something I'd recommend doing as like a second attempt at doing chickens, because the fact that those chickens are like, they're really great chickens. They're just the definition of great chickens, man. The only issue with them is the fact that they can be a little bit more on the aggressive side if you don't deal with, if for whatever reason, like you're not like going out there that often. They can be aggressive if necessary, but they're not always aggressive. The roosters, on the other hand, yeah, I can't say the same though. The roosters decide how aggressive they want to be, unfortunately, and people love complaining about the Rhode Island Red roosters. Just wait until they hear about the Indian game roosters. Those are miles worse. Yeah, I don't really know what the chicken breeds are, but my neighbor had some, and I think, yeah, the Rhode Island Reds are the popular pick around town because they're known by everyone. They're known to lay eggs. They're known to be friendly. They're the dream chicken breed. There's also been a lot of chicken breeds that come off of the Rhode Island Reds. So yeah, I'll show you a picture of the Rhode Island Red really quickly. I'm looking it up really quickly. And I'll show you a picture of one. You probably have seen these before. I'll show you. So if we go over to these images over here, you can see these are what the roosters look like. These are the ones that this is the last thing you see before you get like pummeled by his spurs or his beak. And this is what you'll typically see around the yard. They can range in color from these nice light tans, these darker browns. Typically the most you'd see are around this color though, right in the middle between the two. Those right there are the ones I'd expect most people to have in their yard. It depends. It's just basically like the Easter eggers on a little bit more of a lower level. Like, you don't know what you're going to expect out of them. And a lot of people expect chickens just like brown or white eggs, but the Easter eggers lay those blue eggs. That's why they're called Easter eggers. They're coming off the Americanas. They're not true Americanas because those are like $70. They're like $10 versions of it. Except they lay more of a variety of eggs. They're bred to lay the best color of eggs possible and imaginable. So that's why I love those chickens in general, because they lay beautiful eggs. And if you've ever, and they don't sell those eggs in the store for some reason. I wish they sold those blue eggs, but if they did, yeah, the egg price is like $8 here. I don't want to know what blue eggs would cost. Those would be way worse. But hey, at least you don't have to dye eggs for Easter now, because like you already have most of them covered. I just recommend doing 2 or 3 now per person that likes to dye the eggs, instead of like 3 or 4 when you didn't have the Easter eggers. Yeah, the Easter eggers are loved and adored by everyone. If you haven't seen them, I'll show you I'll show you what they look like really quickly. And they are just beautiful, gorgeous chickens. These are the eggs they lay. You can see the olive egger. We have fluffball or olive egger, and they're like right in the middle between these white and brown eggs. Some of them look like this. Some of them look like this. Some of them look like this. This is the most common appearance. This is what like Chicka Chicka looks like. Some of them could even look like that. They have a lot of them. The most common look, as you can see, they had that beard there that masks their comb because they're bred for that. That's the American. That's how you know it's a branch off of an Americana, by that one beard right there. That one beard. And I like how this video thumbnail kind of looks like my Americanas in the farm flock. That is funny. That is genuinely funny. That one looks like one of our Americanas from the farm flock. Like, yeah, a lot of Americanas end up looking similar, but they all have a different appearance. That's the one thing I love about the Americanas. They're a wild card. It's like the wild card. You don't know what to expect. The chicken decides what it wants to do. And those chickens can be either the friendliest chickens you'll ever see, or they can be not really as tame as you'd really like them to be, unfortunately. I'd say you get about 60% tame and 40% flighty with the Easter eggers. So it's more likely that you'll get a tame one. Actually, more likely to get right in the middle like Chicka Chicka. But then we have Abro, Chicken Burger, Burnt Chicken, Tender, Fluffball right on the upper end. And the old Farm Flock Easter eggers on the lower end. Those Easter eggers, they don't like interacting a lot. They're antisocial chickens for some reason. They're really antisocial. I don't know if any of you Easter egger owners have noticed that the Easter eggers oftentimes happen to be antisocial. They don't like to socialize with the other chickens as much. They typically just do their own thing. They like to hang out around their own kind. The Barred Rocks, the Buffs, the Rhode Island Reds, Blacks, X-Links, they all like going around and hanging out with all their friends, but not really the Easter egger. Like maybe you'll have one Easter egger that wants to be friends with everyone, but most of the Easter eggers happen to be like right in the middle of the pecking order, so they don't interact with a lot of people. Unfortunately, or fortunately for them, because that'll keep them out of most of the fights. Most of us should understand the pecking order, but if you don't, it's a social pyramid for the chickens. Like right in the middle, don't really interact with them. The middle class of the chickens, where mostly everyone lies. The lower class of the chickens is where those chickens, they wanted to be the top of the line, but they didn't. That's where some of the greatest legends of chickens end up rising up to. You have any ideas from when you end up having too many roosters? I have 8, and I didn't plan on that. All right, look and see if someone wants to buy them. Some people are looking for roosters, like me for the farm flock. I'm looking for a rooster that knows what he's doing and doesn't like attacking people. A tame rooster, like a Barred Rock, a Buff Warpington, another Black Copper Marin would likely be my guess, is what my next rooster will likely be for that flock, but all those Marins, the Black Copper Marins are great roosters. They do their job, unlike Green Queen roosters. Keep in mind, there's a difference between a Green Queen and an Americana. They're a branch off, so that's why their roosters are typically a little bit worse than the Americana roosters. Americana roosters are known to be great roosters. But the 2021 Green Queen roosters are awful. We had Snow White, who wasn't planned on being a rooster, as you could definitely tell from that name. He was like the only white chicken. He was supposed to look like Puff and be a tame hen, but nope. Ended up looking like an idiot in front of everyone. And when he took over the flock, because one day Waldo wasn't having his best day, he took over the flock in late 2021 until something got decided, you know what, I'm going to take this rooster. He probably escaped, got out, something got to him. I never found any trace of him. Falcon wasn't also supposed to be a rooster. He was supposed to be a hen, so we moved him in with the pet flock with the intentions of him being a hen. One day, I woke up and I heard crowing in there. Funny story. I open up the coop, and there's Falcon making a sound. I'm like, whoa, oh my, are you serious? Here goes the most painful couple weeks of my life, and they weren't that painful until I got back from Florida in late 2021, when unfortunately the rooster decided he wants to start crowing 24/7 instead of like 5 to 8 times a day, which I missed those times when he wasn't in charge of the flock. I'd like to get another chicken to rise up to be above the rooster, because he thinks he's above everyone else, but in fact he really isn't. because some of those chickens are definitely above him. He just doesn't. He just likes having his little inflated ego, and I'll let him keep it for now until he decides to take that inflated ego and attack one of us severely. He's already tore through a pajama pants, but that was only on a day where I was trying to film a video in the yard, and it looked, in the way I was standing, I guess, just looked a little intimidating. It was like, oh no, I'm gonna have my role taken over. Now I'm gonna like beat the crap out of him, because why wouldn't I? And yeah, he ended up destroying pajama pants. Big deal. I put on a couple band-aids and walked it off. If he decides he wants to like severely attack me, like put me in a position where I need a bandage instead of a band-aid, then that is where the concern of, do we really need to turn him into a 9-piece chicken tender, like a chicken or a McChicken, or do we sell him or something like that? You see, he's the type of rooster that doesn't really do his job, so he's not really the rooster that you'd sell. He's the rooster that you sell for breeding. Like we were actually planning on selling Snow White until he just vanished. So yeah, there goes any chance of selling that. Yeah, so I should make it sure about the dominance towards the roosters is sure I've always been trying to do, but whenever I try to reach to grab him when he's on his side, because that's when you can mostly the time grab the rooster, he turns around and starts to face towards me like I don't know why. So like some of the times I'm able to pick him up and like do that little technique where like you're able to like pin him to the ground and like for like a couple minutes, and then you let him go, and he's like he sits there for like 30 seconds and then immediately just runs back to being his ordinary self. Just like I don't know what breed of chicken was. It looks like a smaller rooster, so if I were to lay out a guess, it might have been a bantam, but I'm probably wrong. The one with 10 million, the short with 10 million views. I definitely do a short about it, taking some inspiration, and yeah, because most of the time I just upload my shorts and put like maybe a little bit of things in the description, but that's really it. So yeah, I'll probably be making a rooster about a short about my rooster falcon. Definitely, if we get a new rooster, I would definitely make another short or even a long video on that. But for now, I think the farm flock is good as is. Although they're defenseless, so if something finds out that they exist, then there's not really much they can do. Like when the farm flock was reduced from 18 to 6. Yeah. A Pita Pinta. So yes, they weigh a lot. I don't know how big they actually are, and I have to like look that up. A Pita Pinta. Oh yeah, that does look like the rooster. It looks a lot bigger than it looks. It's definitely a lot bigger than it looks. Trust me. That's one thing you never underestimate with the roosters, is that I'd say that you never underestimate your rooster's power, because you think he's weak until you actually get attacked by him. And there you go, going inside looking for some band-aids and bandages. So yeah, never underestimate the power that your rooster might have, because he might have a little bit more power than you might anticipate. Specifically with his spurs. That's how like 98% of roosters attack. If you get a special rooster that wants to bite people, then it's a little bit more concerning, because roosters, when they bite, they hurt a little bit more. I've never been bit by a rooster before. I've been bit by a chicken before. I was once hand feeding them, and one of them jumped up. I'll show you a picture of a Pita Pinta real quick. The Pita Pinta, I'll show you the picture real quick. I think this is what it is, at least. I could possibly be wrong, but I'll show you at least. Oh, that is not what I meant to do. I clicked the wrong button yet again. We love clicking the wrong button here, man. So this is what I think they look like. At least this is what I'm assuming. You see they have like that distinct black and white thing right there. See, with like Barred Rocks, they have black and white stripes. See, like here, look at this. They have like these black and white stripes. It's just they don't have it like, they don't look like that. So yeah. Yeah, that's it. I assumed it was it. Especially considering that rooster looked like the one that was attempting to attack you in that one short. So yeah. Oh, we're like 50 minutes into the stream already. My goal is to get a little bit over an hour for this one. So yeah. So yeah, I definitely recommend uploading some more long videos if you want to get a little bit more of the results. And I'm going to give a quick little tip for anyone that wants to improve their long videos. Make sure the thumbnail is like not too overcrowded. I used to make my thumbnails overcrowded and be very confused as to why they didn't get that many views until I realized that, yeah, they're pretty overcrowded. So nowadays my thumbnails are a little bit like less crowded. You need to make some more time. Yeah, my videos I make some time out of my day because my school gets out at like 2:08 p.m. and then I have to go home pretty early on it. Well, not 2:08. It's around like 2:10 or 2:12 or something like that. I don't remember the exact time. It's somewhere between 2:08 and 2:15 is when school is out for me. Yeah, school in a working studio for my YouTube channel is it's taking all my time. So working studio for me personally is just my desk and my computer. If I'm making a video essay, I use my microphone. If I'm not, then I just use my typical GoPro and go out there and record and get everything done and all that whatnot. If I'm like the only time I'd ever build something is like if I'm building something, then yeah, it'll probably take a couple days to get that video out. But like, yeah, it's something that but yeah, like I'd like to do some building videos soon in the future. Like when I build a chicken coop, probably as like a monetization special, or like I teach like how to build a chicken coop or something like that, and like actually build one specifically for that video. So yeah, that's my dream. Yep, building it inside of the house downstairs. You see, I literally live on the first floor. The second floor had some damage done to it back in the 70s, so we have to start doing some work up there this winter, and so there might be a little bit fewer lives occasionally when there's like work up there, or I'll have to do a live outside. The downstairs is the basement. The ceiling is like literally like 6 foot. I'm not even joking. It's very hard to stand down there as someone that's nearly 6 foot. It's so hard to stand down there sometimes. Like your head is sometimes hitting some portions of the ceiling, and yeah, it's quite the annoyance. So yeah, the ceiling in that coop not in the coop in the basement could definitely be a little bit better. It's not habitable for like anything down there. Like it can't ever be a complete basement. It's just a place for the freezers and the washing machine. That's it. But like down here in my recording studio is all I really need. And once I move upstairs, I'll have a much bigger recording studio and set, and I'll have a little bit more space to store my stuff, so my room will be generally cleaner. I'd have a few more outlets, so I'd be able to store a couple more things. Like I've always really wanted I don't know if you've seen like YouTube videos, like those like commentary videos where like they're doing the face camera, and like right in the background you can see their wall, and they have like a neon sign that says like their channel on it. That's something I really want to get, but I don't have any available outlets in my room, so I can't do that quite yet. That's something I really like getting in the future. But for now, I have to wait until we move upstairs, which will probably be at least the remainder of the fall. Probably the spring is the goal, so that way I have a bigger recording studio. That's what I want. I want a bigger recording studio for some reason. So yeah. So I don't know if any of you guys would ever like get like a recording studio for like a YouTube channel or something like that. Because I would. I'd like to get a recording studio. If I were to put it anywhere, it would definitely be like in my room somewhere. Like maybe I'd build something. So yeah, a recording studio would definitely be really helpful, especially since like I have younger siblings that all love screaming. Yeah. Going up to Alaska was definitely my favorite vacation I think I've ever been on, because like you had the hiking, the walking was really nice. The weather is pretty crisp. It's like what it is like right now. Like lows in the 30s, highs in the 50s or upper 40s. It's something we'd be seeing right around now. I really like the weather up there. Up there was definitely my favorite trip. And when we got back, it didn't really feel any different. The only issue with that trip was the time zone difference. That was the worst part about the trip. Was the trip there, how stuffy the air was. On the trip back, miraculously, somehow, I readjusted to the time zone because I never really got used to the time zone out there. So I never really experienced any real jet lag from that trip. It's a trip that like you'd expect people to experience jet lag from, but for me, there was no jet lag from that one. That one was something that I got readjusted, reoriented, and ready to go by the next morning. The next morning was definitely brutal waking up, because I went to bed at 11:30 trying to do the homework, even though I probably was trying to go to bed a little bit earlier than that. But yeah, the next morning was absolutely brutal. And, first period would genuinely feel like like 3 a.m. and not 7 a.m. So definitely one of the more brutal going back, because I've never really been outside of the time zone I'm in before. Not even been outside of the country. I'd like to go outside of the country, but then again, the flights outside of the country would take a while. And that 6-hour flight was not the most. It's not my favorite. Definitely not my favorite flight. Could have been a little bit more smoother. Air could have been a little bit better. The 3 flights back home were a little bit. Oh, there goes the window again, shifting around. Yeah, the wind keeps shifting that thing around, so I'd have to move it later, which is starting to get a little bit on my nerves because that's happened like 6 or 7 times this stream. Because my window loves the art of shifting around when it's windy out. And this is the first like real windstorm we got. We got Hurricane Lee back in a little bit before we went on vacation, and that was it. Nothing else. But yeah, there was a couple more. There was one other vacation I went on this year. I'm gonna be completely honest. It was a 3-day vacation to South Carolina. It was a pretty cool trip, but yeah, we lost Lovey literally the week before. We lost Lovey that Saturday morning, the 10th. Then we literally left the day after school ended. And I kind of forgot to make videos to prepare for that trip, so I only uploaded one for the duration of it. It was okay. I just thought something was going to get to the chickens. If it were to happen in July, like we had that pet flock attack, that would have been miles worse. That would have probably been a highly stressful trip. But it was very nice and temperate weather down there. It didn't really rain that much. I think we got one light rain shower when we left. Back home, dry. The garden was awaiting. The chickens were waiting. Everyone was fine with that one. Same with the Alaska one. Everyone was fine. The garden was dead. All that needed to be harvested now was the gorse, which I harvested already. And yeah, we're at 57 minutes. So I like to take these last 3 minutes of the stream, the last couple minutes of the stream, to make any announcements or talk about how I could improve these streams. Because a part about being a YouTuber, part about working on YouTube is always open for improvement. So what are some things I could possibly do to improve? And just a quick little announcement, just to re-sketch it into your minds if you forgot already, that I'm still doing that, what's it called? Any long video ideas? I completely skipped over that message. I am so sorry for ghosting that message. It didn't really, I didn't see it pop up, because sometimes when 2 messages pop up at the same time that happens. I just figured I'd re-sketch it into your brain. And anyone that's forgot about it, I'm still hosting that pumpkin pecking challenge, if you're wondering. That is something I love. I cannot wait to do. That is something that'll definitely be my highlight. So maybe doing that in around Halloween, because Halloween scary stuff, pumpkins. Yeah. All right. So the submissions will open on Tuesday, the week before Halloween. Then you have the 24th, so and then the 30th, the 31st, Halloween. Then you have all the way until the 3rd to submit the videos. So yeah, that's one that you said you were gonna do. So it's pretty obvious, but I'm gonna think about any other ideas. Maybe a rooster video, like that rooster maybe we were talking about back in June or whenever that video went up, the one that got 10 million views. Maybe doing a long video on that. Maybe a 3 to 8 minute video talking about him. Maybe doing a little bit of an overview and sort of provide an update on him. Maybe even do a video about the mice, because it has a pretty interesting story. Now, just before we leave, I just figured I'd say, as I said earlier in the stream, I am beginning probably my biggest project yet. I'm pretty sure everyone heard about it. As I said, My Chickens Christmas will be probably the greatest video I'll ever drop. Right now, it looks like it'll be about an hour long. So it'll premiere on December 23rd, 2023. And this year, 12 Days of the Chicken will look a little bit different. I figured I'd just announce that. Even though it's 2 months out, I'm already ready for Christmas, man. At this point, I'm just ready for Christmas because snow and the holidays and just the general spirit and atmosphere of December is just makes it a great time of the year to be alive. So yeah, I just figured I'd say that December, 12 Days of the Chicken, every other day. So the daily long videos won't be existing, but you'll notice a significant incline of quality. There'll be every other day video essay. There'll be day 11, and day 11.5 will be that 1 hour video. And then day 12 will be a snow video. And if I can't find any snow, then I will make a video about snow. I will make a video talking about snow. That's what you should expect if it doesn't snow. Fortunately, I think it should. If it doesn't, I'd be highly disappointed. But hey, video essay, pretty cool, I must say. Well, it's been an hour. I have dinner to attend to. I have a milkshake to attend to soon. So, I figured I'd just end out on that. I'm sorry I didn't make it too far past an hour. I'm doing these streams up to an hour because that's the amount of time I have. Because I have to work on an essay and dinner and dessert and all that whatnot soon. So yeah, I figured I'd say thank you guys so much for stopping by. It means the world to me that like people actually show support. Because a lot of people nowadays don't like showing the support, but you guys are the like greatest audience I could possibly ask for. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream out on that, everyone. Hope you enjoyed your time here. If you just popped in right at the last moment, don't worry. I've done that too many times before. Like people like when I pop and I say hi and they're like, all right, I'm gonna end the stream out on that, guys. Subscribe, and then I just end the stream. I've done that before. I get like 2 messages in. So yeah, bye everyone.